Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the top 10 mistakes that beginner cooks make. Super excited, by the way, to do a collab with Professor Kitchen, who's doing his own version of top 10 mistakes, so do check him out. The link will be listed right up here or in the description box down below. So let's get started right now. Being too cheap and buying low quality cookware. You need to invest in some good quality cookware, something that is solid and that retains heat, because that's what that strong stainless steel back does. You need your pan to maintain the heat you want to cook on in all sides of the pan, and you want to avoid warping. A pan with a heavy bottom does wonders and really will help you improve your experience with cooking every day and make cooking less frustrating. Next, not waiting for your pan to preheat. People usually, even my mom does this, people usually add the oil and then turn on the pan to preheat. Well, guess what happens when you do that? By the time the pan gets hot, the oil is starting to burn. You want to let the pan get hot, add the oil, it will become hot instantly, and then start cooking, so you don't compromise on the flavor or the burnt flavor in your food. So keep calm and preheat. This leads me to my next point. Sear, don't boil. If you don't let your pan get hot, and if you overcrowd the pan, guess what happens to the meat in the pan? Instead of the meat getting that beautiful golden brown sear, the overcrowdedness and the fact that the pan is not hot enough starts to boil the meat and makes it gray, anemic, and truly just disgusting. That is really off-putting and can really change the flavor profile of your dish. So let your pan preheat and don't overcrowd your pan. Talking about a nice sear, even I used to make these mistakes when I first started cooking. And that is not patting your meat dry. No puns intended. So what you need to do is take your piece of chicken, let's say, and make sure you use paper towels to get any excess moisture out of that chicken. What this helps to do is when you add that piece of chicken on the hot pan with the oil, it's a direct contact and there's no excess moisture that's gonna ruin the sear that you're looking for. A good sear doesn't just make the dish look more appetizing, but that golden brown crust adds a tremendous amount of flavor to your dish. Now this next tip, guys, is really gonna help you out whenever you're cooking meat. At least 30 minutes before you wanna start cooking your chicken, your beef, whatever it is, take it out and leave it on the countertop so it can get that chill from the fridge out and it can get closer to room temperature. Not only will it help speed up the cooking process, but it will help prevent overcooking your meat. Because what happens when the meat is chilled straight out of the fridge, by the time that the inside cooks, the outside is dry and rubbery. Now this leads me to my next point. The best way to defrost meat on the go. Now you should always let the meat defrost naturally. The first one would involve leaving your meat in the fridge and letting it defrost naturally. The second one, which is much quicker, is keeping your meat in a bowl or a big pot and letting cold water, ice cold water, let that flow onto the meat and make sure there's a constant running stream, because it's the running stream of water that helps circulate the water in the bowl or the pot, and it helps defrost the meat much quicker. So a piece of chicken breast, you can defrost that in an hour or two naturally in a quick way. Now imagine this. You've cooked a beautiful piece of seared chicken and you're starving. So as soon as it's done cooking, you're gonna cut it up and start eating. But guess what? When you're cooking meat, all the juices are flowing towards the outside. It's trying to escape it because it's hot all around it. Now the best thing to enjoy the chicken, the best way to have that restaurant quality chicken is to let that meat rest for at least half the time that you cooked it for, just so that all those juices can get back in the center, so that the moment you cut it, it's full of that beautiful, juicy, delicious flavors, and all the marination, the hard work you put in to prepare that chicken does not go to waste. Now this next one is a little tricky to manage, but you will learn over time by making mistakes and then learning from it. And that's about over seasoning your food. Now if you've bought good, high quality ingredients, you should let those ingredients shine. Do not over season it, because then what's the point of enjoying these fresh vegetables, organic chicken, high quality meat? Let the ingredients be the star of the dish. The simpler, the better. If you have to mask the flavor of the meat or whatever you're cooking, then you're doing something wrong. And I think you should rethink what you're doing and just let those ingredients do the talking. You will notice a big difference, and you will start to develop your palate more and more every dish you cook. Now there's a big difference between preheating your pan and letting your pan burn until the point that it's about to smoke up and catch on fire. And you don't want the latter. So the best way to know that your pan is hot enough to add in your oil is to sprinkle in a little bit of water. And if the water turns into little balls and it's like dancing around, you know that the pan is ready. If the water just splashes and evaporates eventually, still give it some more time. It should be dancing around the pan like it's a party. Now lastly, I would like you to keep developing on the first 10 tips which I gave you, and you can see that video if you click the link right above here, and then adding these tips to your daily cooking so that it just becomes second nature. You will become a pro in the kitchen in no time if you start adopting some of these tips in your day-to-day life, and maybe finding better ways than what even I am giving you tips for. Let me know if you find any better suggestions, if there's any improvements that I can make in my life in the comments section down below. And leave me a like if you want a part 3 to this video, and what other questions that you have in your day-to-day cooking that you would like to improve, which you would like me to tackle in my next video. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see more awesome videos just like this. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new awesome contents. My social media links I handle down below, and thank you for everybody who helped me reach 10,000 subscribers on Instagram. I'd encourage you guys to do the same on YouTube. You can get more awesome content from me more frequently. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again on the next one.